doors of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14.
And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So if they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 17 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Calvin Joseph. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Ty Johnson, the ball carrier. Let's go.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Calvin Ridley with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback. And they'll begin at the 25. Now Kyler Murray ready to get back under center. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Here's 2nd and 9. Murray flips his forward on a jet sweep. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers
trying for Brown, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Calvin Joseph.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Sanders now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field.
And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, Are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Murray now on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle.
Gets through, and now an opening. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From the 27, Burrow. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play here for Dallas.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Johnson. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Burrow looking to pass. And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, he had to wait until December, but congrats to the rookie, his first INT.
Yeah, he's been a reliable contributor for this defense throughout the season. Definitely got a bright future, and has gotten even brighter after making that play.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Murray going to try to throw on third down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Jerome Baker with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on fourth down. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So call that a 56-yard punt with a return of about 11. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On second down, Johnson down to the 30 after a gain of 3. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Sanders' kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Let's go.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10. Here's Murray. He finds McCoy. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down now, but that clock rolling. Murray has it knocked loose. Fumble.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Murray. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
You definitely would have liked to have hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing again, it's Burrow. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Bengals drive about to get going. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. A final shot before half from Murray. He's going deep for Brown. And this one is incomplete. So we have reached halftime, and just like that, on we head to half number 2.
These two teams making their final adjustments for the second half. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Cincinnati and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Taken at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Out to the left, he's got his tight end Knox. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play here for Dallas. If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there.
And I tell you, from our broadcast booth, because we're pretty close to the 50, we had the best view, a bird's eye view of that throw, and it was an absolute thing of beauty to watch. It never ceases to amaze me, the arm strength of these guys.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
This is obviously a critical sequence for this defense if they want to stay in this game. Down 2 scores already. They give up a touchdown here. That make things really difficult for their offense moving forward.
Caught on a slant. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dawson Knox, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. First down, Murray. That is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
The throw down the field caught by his running back. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
This for his running back, McCoy. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down. And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. Quick completion here to Johnson. And the Bengals are going to have a first and goal as the tackle made at the 10-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Flush to his right, and he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. To throw is Murray. Eluding the pressure right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Shotgun now from Murray. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense.
How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From just shy of midfield, Burrow. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. He's able to knock that one away.
The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
10 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the Bengals 38-yard line.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Here's Burrow. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 20-yard line. They're looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
A timeout here as we got a player shaken up, and that's Johnson who's down on the field.
While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
On 2nd down, Evans looking for space. And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he stopped behind the line by this Bengals D. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Sanders' kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 17.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Cincinnati set to take over once again. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. We'll check on his status when we get back.
That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Murray's throw complete there to Johnson. 7 yards, the pickup there. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Murray's got to have this one. He's going to go up top again. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete on the deep ball. They're still throwing the football here. And obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Campbell making the catch. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the 1 in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders about how to stay in the moment, stay focused on the task.
And he's got him in the driver's seat here in the 4th quarter. From midfield now, Burrow gets this to Campbell out on the right side. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Here we go. 11 coming. Big 13. Big 13.
Burrow will throw. Finding Knox there, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Let's go!
The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll check this down to Johnson. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off inside the 10. He's at the 50. 30. 10. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 from Bengals TD. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
The extra point here is good, but the late touchdown can only draw the score a bit closer as this game